on Twitch, and now I gotta check YouTube. YouTube is slightly more complicated, but I believe that people are starting to see us already. Hello, everyone. Look, we got Brant and Lucy. I'll let them talk to you for a sec.
Hey guys, how's it going?
not to
Hello,
not to just dump
everybody.
the audience on you two.
I'm on mute because the office sounds like a hurricane.
Okay, cool. Looks like most of this stuff is working fine on YouTube. So, playing State of Decay 2 Juggernaut Edition, and no, it is not made for kids. Awesome. Okay.
But it's got so many pretty colors.
I know, right? My kids love this game. And it's disturbing. Actually, like my son sometimes I've left my game up and running, gone to do something else. I come back and my son has driven an ambulance off a cliff, and he's like surrounded by zombies. He's 6 years old. He's no idea what he's doing. Like, okay, buddy, like give this back to Dad. This is Dad's game. When his older sister was his age, she one time snuck down during dinner and found my Call of Duty game up, and so she started a match. So she like joined a match of Call of Duty and actually killed a couple of people as a 6-year-old who had never played a game before. That just shows you where I get match made. Like my skill level gets match made with people who could be defeated by a 6-year-old. But still, it was kind of funny. Like I think I recorded video of it so we'd have proof that my daughter could beat randos in Call of Duty. So, yeah, we got a bunch of people watching us. Hello, all you people. So, yeah. Okay, so we're starting to stream in about 13 minutes. We're going to be revealing Update 24 today. Update 24 is not coming today. It's coming in about a week. But we're going to talk about the details, what's inside of it, including updates to the Bounty Broker, but also some other feature stuff that is, a little more secret until we get into it. Actually, just occurred to me there's a question I have not yet asked, which is, can I say exactly when this is coming out? Better ask some folks that. Usually I'm clear on that, but I had so many other questions this time around. We've got so many little details to share. Forgot to ask that one. Hey.
Magic Man 79, Cash is already everybody's friend. I don't know what you're talking about.
You got to be careful when dealing with Magic. He's a shady character.
Sending Slack messages to folks, asking them, making sure that we can say when this is coming out, because I just realized there's parts of this that actually don't make any sense unless we say when it's coming out. So I bet we can probably reveal that, but I'll just double check it because I don't want to be flying by the seat of my pants on that one. All right, we've got about 12 minutes until the stream begins. Noah Wells wants to know, who's that guy behind Lucy? He's just watching you.
Yes. This is one of my favorite moments from, which side am I on? Playtesting this week. In our internal studio playtests, Jeffrey tried to spawn a car, and it ended up in an unusable location instead.
And this guy just seems, he just seems kind of nonplussed about it. Like he's
Yep.
like, oh, whatever.
So proud of myself.
This is what happens to cars in the apocalypse. So Terry Irons asked, what got announced? Nothing yet. We're working on it. The announcement's coming. The announcement is happening in like 10, 15, 20 minutes. I don't know. We're doing lots of little tiny announcements, right? Update 24 is a varied smorgasbord of things, and we're going to be talking about a lot of them today. Awesome Twitch dude, no, that is not what we're announcing. So you can just hold on to that one for a little while longer. Takaona asks, are we going to see gameplay? Yes, we're going to be playing through the game, showing some of the changes that we've made, and yeah, showing up a little bit of new content. It's going to be fun. Mars maybe says, what can I do to calm my excitement? Maybe just have a Mars bar, I suppose? I don't know. That's my suggestion.
Send me or not. Do not send me anything. Put it in the chat. The best zombie apocalypse and/or State of Decay 2 puns you can come up with. There are many pun enthusiasts in the office, not limited to just myself and Brant.
We did. Lewis Moore did unfortunately move on to another company. Otherwise, he would still be the official pun expert of the office.
Yeah, but Undead Mark and Zoe are also very avid punsters. So you got to watch out for
them. Oh, the Dark Smoky says we don't have Mars bars in California. Too bad. So Awesome Twisty wants me to talk about the graffiti that's behind me. We will be talking about it a little bit on the formal stream, but this is why I get now why Awesome Twisty was guessing that we were revealing Trumbull Valley as a core map. It's because it says Trumbull Valley back here. That's just because Trumbull Valley is the bounty pack that's releasing right now, and so whenever we do these big pieces of art that sort of pop up at the beginning of the game after an update, we include references to the bounty pack, and so that's what it is. It's like that's just a reference to the bounty pack that's coming out. So yeah, so the Trumbull Valley pack is the one that's going to be landing on the bounty broker. And so we're going to remind folks what's in there. We got a lot of new players every year. We get new players coming in who, for instance, might have never seen the Trumbull Valley pack before, might not know how awesome the Echo weapons are, might never have put on a Rainbow Lizard hoodie. So with all of those options available, we want to make sure that, that we highlight them. G-Addict, that's an interesting proposal that you've got. It would be kind of a big deal to make a change like that. So, hold on to that one. Maybe sometime in the future we'll be able to talk about that idea.
Magic asks if we can upload some of that graffiti art for the community to use.
Oh,
but I think some of that stuff we can make available, right, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I've actually.
Art?
I'm already using this as one of my desktop backgrounds on my machine. I typically, after we do a reveal like this, sometimes I will tweet it. So if you follow me, I'm at Rangatang on Twitter. I'll share this stuff with you if you want to have it on your own machine as a desktop background. This isn't actually this is only part of the image. This image is actually way wider than the aspect ratio we've got. So I've got this version of it. There's another version of it too. There's 3 different versions of this you can get. So yeah, I'll share that stuff on Twitter. So yeah. That's what we'll do. And I think, it might be possible to, maybe Megan would be interested in sharing that from the official channel too, so you don't have to follow me. I'm not trying to just get people to follow me on Twitter, just to be clear. It's just, that's a channel that I control, and I can do that kind of thing there, but, yeah, maybe we can do it in more of an official way too. JG Lives asks, if I don't get the update, can I still earn bounties for the Fearsome Pack? Good question. I mean, maybe. I'm pretty sure that right now, that is kind of how it works. Once you get the update, though, there's some aspects of how we manage bounties behind the scenes that might be changing, and so I don't know if that would be true any time in the future. So this might be your last chance to try to pull a trick like that. Or maybe, it's not dropping today, so you probably got, maybe a week before before it becomes a problem. So you still got some time to work on fearsome footage. Oh, Matt S says that they're still seeing their car sometimes exploding when they repair it. So we've been looking at that. So we've put in some safeguards against some of the causes of that have happened in the past. But, Henry has actually dug down in there, figured out what the problem is, and we just need to spend the time to fix it. It's a complicated physics thing we have to solve. But, yeah, basically, if you want to know sort of like a look under the hood, basically what's happening is I think when you have destroyed a car so thoroughly that the doors are off, sometimes what happens is the door is still lying somewhere in the world. It's just off there somewhere out in the world. And so when you repair it, we don't create a new door. That door flies from its current location in a single frame and slaps against your car and gets attached. Now, theoretically, it's supposed to just teleport and just arrive and not cause any problems. For some reason, occasionally, it actually just slaps your car with the power of a meteor from space. And that's what causes your car to fly up in the air. Or to just start weirdly orbiting around or something like that. Weird things can happen with these doors. So, we're going to look into it. We're going to try to fix it. It's just getting the right resources in the right place at the right time. Conservative Gaming asks, will we ever get the ability to filter guns in our locker based on the ammo type? Filtering on crossbow or pistol doesn't help when you're looking for a 50 cal rifle and have to scroll for 5 minutes. So yeah, the way that we designed the supply locker was not, we were not thinking about the player who collects literally 4,000 guns and stuffs them all in that supply locker. And so yeah, so I mean, the guns are already arranged in order of caliber. The problem is it's like if each caliber takes up an entire screen or more, that doesn't help you find the guns that you're looking for very easily. So I mean, yes, if you're looking for 50 cal, scroll to the bottom of your list of guns. They're always going to be near the end. They are arranged that way. At least that's one of the ways they can be arranged. I think you can change it to something else. But so it's technically possible, but that sheer amount of scrolling, I realize, is a problem if you've got that much stuff. So we are looking into possibilities. It's finding a solution to that is on a list of UX improvements that we'd like to make sometime this year. Unfortunately, it's on a list with a lot of other things we'd like to do. So I can't promise you that particular one is gonna make it soon. But it is on a list. It is something we're aware of that we want to do something about. So SOD2 Daniel actually has a story. Like, they remember one time their car doors were under their car after being torn off by a zombie, and you backed over the door and the car went flying. So doors apparently, can cause some problems. So Lord Sparkside asks if we're going to add relationships and dating to the game. It's not immediately. That is a favorite thing. Like, both Henry and I really love that idea of adding like proper relationships into the game. And so it's not on our immediate list, but it is something that we'd love to do at some point before we're done supporting the game. We'll have to see if we get there. Again, as always, all the disclaimers. Can't make any promises. You never know how our priorities are going to need to change over time. But that is something that we like. The Mad Samoan says, I recently got a Series X, and I must say, State of Decay 2 looks even more amazing. I agree. I've been playing on a Series X too. I'm having a great time with it. It's kind of fun seeing, the higher frame rate and just sort of all the different aspects of the game that get better when you're playing it on the latest hardware. Oh,
I have to say the idea with the dating sim, like, because we're still pre-stream, I can probably say this. I kind of want to save that for like an April Fool's update of some kind. I mean, and not, by update I mean like thing we say on the stream, not an actual release. I don't know if we could even afford that, but there's plenty of silly dating sim games out there. I'm sure we can fit in a zombie one.
That's, so one of my old producers at a previous studio, who actually worked a little bit on State of Decay as a Microsoft executive later on, his name's Matt. He was my producer on a couple different projects, and every time we were working at a studio that did like work for hire games, like games based on kids movies and stuff like that. And every time we had to do a new pitch, his first pitch was, let's do it as a dating sim. So we're gonna do like an Indiana Jones dating sim, or an Over the Hedge dating sim.
Oh no!
Just every single. Oh man, that would appeal to a certain audience. It'd be great. But yeah, no. So whenever I hear doing a dating sim, the first thing I think of is Matt, and I don't think he's ever made a dating sim. I don't think he's gotten to do one yet. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to. By the way, what is it? What's it called? Your boyfriend's a sword. What is that? What is that game called?
Oh,
I can only think the only title is.
I know the one you're talking
is
about.
Is Hatful Boyfriend, which is your boyfriend is a pigeon, which is different.
Actually one that kind of falls
Boyfriend Dungeon
is yes.
Boyfriend Dungeon. That game. If you have not looked at the trailers for that game, it's sick. Sick like a snowboarder would say. It's awesome. Like, I can't believe the transformation animations. It like puts Sailor Moon to shame. It is just over the top, beautiful flowing locks. Oh man, it's the best. My sister and I saw that at PAX and we were just minds blown. Got 1 minute left. Any final comments or questions? Albert's daddy says clown outfits, please. We already got those for the zombies. I mean, do you want one for your characters too? It's been a while since I've read the patter that I wrote for myself at the beginning of the stream. I hope I can perform it properly. Okay, it is officially 3 o'clock. Is everybody ready to get started? Brant, are you ready? Thumbs up from Brant. Lucy, you ready?
Lock and load.
Awesome. Okay, let's get started. Hello, survivors. Welcome to the State of Decay 2 stream. I'm your host, Jeffrey Card, and I know you all have been wondering when we were going to reveal our next update to State of Decay 2. Well, that time is now. Update 24 is coming soon, and here to explain some of the new feature work that went into this update is your favorite systems designer and spreadsheet jockey, returning champion, Lucy Tibbits. Hello, Lucy.
Hello, survivors. How's everyone today?
Do you want to introduce him to your friend up there? Like, what's going on in the background?
Oh, yes. This is a wonderful screenshot from a playtesting session earlier this week. Jeffrey tried to spawn a car, and it landed in, I don't want to cover it up, a very precarious location. So it is what it is.
I was going to say, when I tweeted this out, one of my developer friends thought that I was revealing a new vehicle damage model because the car landed so perfectly on top of the bus. It looked like it had physically crushed the bus. But no, that bus always looks like
brand new vehicle mod. You drive a bus that has another car on top of it. Perfect.
And of course, as always, we have to welcome my co-host, one of the original creators of State of Decay, master weaponsmith, puppeteer, and hula dancer, Brant Fitzgerald. Hello, Brant.
Wow.
So
that's my entire career right there in a few words.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to be muted most of the time because the office HVAC sounds like a hurricane. But
and
thanks for
great,
joining us, everybody.
Because you're the designated person this stream whose voice is going to be out of sync with the video, and so the less you talk, the better, honestly. So now we've got our guests here. We've also got the game. Lucy is horrified by how we talk to each other. Brant gives as good as he gets, I promise. So we're going to get into the game right now and start introducing what's going on with this community. So we started here. This is at the very beginning of the game. We're here in Meager Valley in the starter house. Not a whole lot going on here, except you can see that this guy has got a brand new shirt on. What is going on with this? So this is Andre, Queen, and Jess. Again, very small community, but we open up their closet. We can see they've got a new T-shirt on. This is called the Done Dying T-shirt. The art is by Ty Farrell, and it's going to be available for real life at stateofdecay.com. .NAACP. So let's talk about this because so basically this is Black History Month, and in order to sort of celebrate and commemorate Black History Month, we wanted to do something that would really that would really make an impact. And so not only have we added this brand new shirt to the game that you can put on your characters, and everybody gets this for free, by the way. It's not even like a limited time deal. It's like if you once update 24 hits, this shirt is in the game for good. But not only can you get this shirt in the game, you can also buy a physical version of this shirt anytime between February 8th and March 1st. If you go to stateofdecay.com/NAACP, you'll find out about the promotion. Basically, this is inspired, by Black History Month, by the Black Lives Matter movement, and by the NAACP's current Weird Undying campaign. And so this, if you pick up the physical T-shirt, all the proceeds go to the NAACP. And so we thought that it was a really appropriate thing to do this February as part of Black History Month to showcase this, particularly this brilliant artwork by Ty Farrell. We're going to have him on as a guest next week to talk through sort of the inspiration behind this artwork and what it means to him and like what it means to the entire movement. But let me pop back into the game here.
Hey Jeffrey, we're getting some information about that page not being found, so we'll investigate. But
okay.
When the page goes up, you'll be able to get the shirt, but I'm sure we'll be able to work through that real quick.
It could be, I grabbed that link off of our patch notes. It could be that link is meant to go out with the patch notes on February 8th, which means it doesn't work yet. So sorry to have shared that a little bit too early, but if you're watching the stream later, a week from now, hopefully it'll work. And if it doesn't, hopefully something else on the site will tell you how to get there. But anyway, so having a look at this T-shirt, it looks really nice. she looks good in it. He looks good in it. And so yeah, so we're gonna talk a little bit more about this artwork, the shirt, and the meaning behind it in a future stream. But wanted to let you folks know this is gonna be there, and I wanted to get you, let you have a look at it, and especially let you know about the limited time offer to actually get a physical copy of the shirt. I've already ordered mine. I'm looking forward to it coming. Maybe I'll wear it on the stream one of these days. No, wait, I probably can't because my green screen is gonna get completely screwed up by that. That's not gonna work. But so I'm not gonna wear it on the air, but just believe me, I will own a copy, and you can just sort of know that deep in your heart. But one of these guys just does not want to wear the shirt. This guy, he's just really into his lizard hoodie. So he's here to highlight the fact that, let me just switch over to this guy. This is Queen. He is wearing this lizard hoodie because he's excited about the Trumbull Valley Pack, which is also is showing up with Update 24. You guys might remember that the Trumbull Valley Pack was a bounty pack that we released to sort of commemorate Heartland sometime last year. And so we're bringing it back. That's the bounty pack that's releasing this month. And so it comes with a lot of stuff. Not only does it come with this beautiful rainbow chameleon hoodie that you can put on, but Queen here is carrying the restored Echo S3 shotgun, the only suppressed shotgun in the game. So that's another thing you can get from the Trumbull Valley Pack. So I'll be running around with him for a while, shotgunning zombies very, very quietly, while we talk about some of the other stuff that's going on. So, Brant, I'm actually curious. So do you actually have a favorite Echo weapon alongside this shotgun?
You're walking around with it, buddy.
It really is the shotgun? Well, actually, before I go out, I should sort of give people, because, we get a bunch of new players every single month. And so for some of you, the Trumbull Valley Pack is old news. But I should actually just go over real quick what is in this pack for some of you who might not know it yet. So we've got this entire set of suppressed weapons. This is the Echo S4 SMG. Let's see here. The Echo S7 assault rifle. The Echo S6 pistol. The Echo S1 revolver, one of only 2, I believe, suppressed revolvers in the game. All these have built-in suppressors, so you never have to attach a suppressor to them. They're just natively extremely quiet. It's almost like carrying around a crossbow. There's the Echo S2 rifle, and I'm carrying the shotgun around. In addition to that, you can also get a facility mod called the Improvised Weapon Station that lets you build some of the improvised weapons that you could build in Heartland. And so that's like the Masterwork rifle, the Trumbull Gatekeeper, a bunch of our fanciest rifles, which one of our other characters has actually got one of those rifles on her person, so I'll have to check that out pretty soon. But I'm gonna run around here in the base, outside the base, getting into some trouble. While we chat about sort of the next thing. So we're talking about the Trumbull Valley Pack, right? And you all, have seen a lot of these streams where we're introducing new bounty packs. In fact, we've basically been doing it pretty much almost every single month, releasing a new bounty pack or bringing back an old one with maybe a few modifications and talking about it on the stream. But now we've done that 11 times. We've got 11 bounty packs in this game. And so it actually seemed like the perfect time to make a little change to the way the bounties work. So from now on, once Update 24 drops, bounties are now going to be automated. That means that you're not going to have to wait for an update for a bounty to come out. You're not going to have to download an update or anything like that. All the bounty packs, they're all queued up, and they're just looking at your clock. They're just looking at your calendar, and when the right day rolls around, the bounties will roll around. And so we're not going to have to update the game religiously every single month just to make sure that a bounty comes out. And that means that all you players out there who complain every time we do an update and say, oh, it's just a bounty broker update, snooze, and complain about it, you know what? You're never going to have to deal with that again. We're not going to do updates that are just bounty broker updates anymore because it's automated. We've got 11 of them already. Now, you may be aware that there are 12 months in a year, not 11 months. And so we are at some point going to do one more update that has one new bounty pack in it. At that point, we're going to have 12 bounty packs, and then, we might still tweak them. We might still mess with them in the future. We've got some ideas for how to make those bounty packs more interesting. But as far as just when they unlock, they're going to be on a schedule. And you'll be able to look ahead. We'll be able to sort of publicize the schedule as we go. And you'll be able to see what's coming in the future. And it's not going to involve updating the game. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So I think that I've got some notes about that. So I believe that this update is going to drop on February 8th. You probably figured that out from the shirt promotion. And then starting on March 1st, that's when the pawn shop pack is going to show up, and then on April 1st the plunder pack is going to show up, and they're just going to keep marching along those lines. So we're gonna be able to post up in public somewhere, when these bounty packs are going to drop, and then you can just not worry about it for a while. So that now, one thing that does mean is that you can kind of expect our update cadence to slow down a little bit. Basically, now that we're not relying on a monthly update to update the bounty broker every single month, that gives us a little bit of a break to step back and make sure that we're getting the maximum amount of, say, quality assurance time, the maximum amount of polish time on each of our updates. And so that means that maybe we won't necessarily come out with an update every single month. For the next little while. Maybe we're gonna, be able to slow it down, maybe wait 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, save up to do sort of, larger updates with a little bit more time in between them to make sure we're getting everything exactly right. So, so last year, when Henry went over what happened last year was a crazy year. We did effectively, I think, 12 updates over the course of the past 12 months. And that's a crazy amount of updating. And so we're going to be slowing that down just a little bit, but don't take the fact that we're slowing it down to mean that we're done. We've still got huge plans. Like Henry said when he was on here, we've got a ton of big plans that are still coming, so don't worry about that. So now we're over here talking to the bounty broker, checking out his bounties, and it looks like, actually, I've been cheating, and so I've totally messed up the availability. Oh, actually, no, this isn't because I'm cheating. It's because it's not February 8th yet. That's why the bounty broker is not showing me the Trumbull Valley pack. It's because it's not February 8th yet, and this works on a calendar now. So I'm not going to be able to check out those bounties. But let's move on to talking about, because again, you all have heard about bounties before. You know what's up with bounty packs. Let's talk about some of the feature work that we've been doing. And this is why Lucy's here, actually, by the way, to talk about some of this feature work. So I've been talking up a Blue Streak. But the one thing that I mentioned at the very beginning, this is a early community. As you can see, we've only got 3 people, and it can be a hassle sometimes to try to get out of those initial doldrums. And so Lucy had an idea that I think is a really good one, and she's here to share it with you. So I don't know. I guess I'll just hand it off to Lucy and stop talking so much.
Thanks, Jeffrey. No, I totally agree. Whenever you want to move to a new base, outside of the initial base, there's always a 4-person or higher requirement. And we recruit from enclaves, you recruit from random missions, but with enclaves, it felt a little inconsistent about when you could recruit. Meanwhile, we had this existing enlisting option where you just pay influence. So we thought, why not just let you recruit people from enclaves by paying influence? So now you guys are going to be able to recruit people from neutral enclaves and higher, and better yet, the cost of recruiting people is going to be reduced for friendly and then allied. Or actually, allied's free, isn't it? Yeah,
yes,
I think it was free.
That's how it ended up. Yeah, in fact, we could probably show this if we want to. Let me pop open my radio command here. So normally what you have to do, right, when you want to recruit more people, is I just used it. Great. So it's on a cooldown. I could cheat that away.
Do you have any enclaves nearby?
I do, actually, because I used it before. I've got an enclave right here. That's right. This is Tantrum and the Seven Wonders, who are also my band name. But yeah, so okay, right before the stream began, I tested it out to make sure that there was nothing wrong with it, because that's the time when a feature is going to go wrong, is when we're streaming it live to the public. But yeah, no, it worked just fine. So I'm going to head over there, and we can actually show you what it looks like to recruit from a neutral enclave. So we just barely, actually, I think these guys are friendly. We just barely called these folks in. So we haven't done any missions for them yet. All we've done is just welcome them to the valley, and that's it. And here I am, high-centered on a rock. This is exactly what we wanted to do. This is the content you're here for.
How did you accomplish this?
I know. I mean, seriously, honestly, I never would have been able to get off that rock if Dan had not retuned all the vehicles recently. But here we go. All right. We're only less than 400 meters away. We can do this. We can get there.
Cool.
But yeah, so basically, the plan has always been, the way it always works is you meet an enclave and oh yay, we're in the map now. And then you have to wait for a random number generator to decide when they offer you a mission. And maybe you'll say you've got one of those big arcs going on, like say the Cannibals arc or the Zombie Trappers. And because that's going on, maybe you're not getting any other enclave missions. Maybe you've got all these enclaves all over your map who you want to recruit from, but their missions just aren't popping. Well, now if they're in the middle of a mission, you still can't do this. But if they're just an ambient enclave who, I'm not going to try to talk to them until we've gotten rid of these zombies.
Maybe they need a safe place first because they're not really open to conversation.
But here, so I can talk to Malka here. And look, I've got this new option. She's only part of a friend. You can see, you can't see it because Lucy's face is there, but they're a friendly community. They're not an allied community. But you can recruit them for 750 influence. Now, if they were neutral, you could also recruit them for 1,500 influence. And if they were allied, if you actually do go through the old process of getting them all the way up to allied, then just as before, they still offer you recruits for free. But yeah.
It still dissolves the enclave. I've been seeing a couple questions in chat about that. Once again, this was a feature that we were trying to do relatively quickly. But like we felt this was like we knew it was an inconvenient situation, and we wanted to do something for making this a better experience for players. We are going to look at options maybe in the future for. Like I don't think I can actually promise anything on this or say much more. But it's like, we are aware that. They still dissolve. That was what I was trying to say.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, we recognize that can sometimes be a thing that drives people crazy. Like, for instance, Tantrum here, he's got a blank fifth skill, which is really great. Also, his name is Tantrum, which is awesome. And so, I want him. But also Malka here, I mean, I don't have a gardening person, so I kind of want Malka too. And over here, Noah, what does Noah have? I don't know. Noah might just be a garbage survivor. I've got no idea. Noah's got utilities. I think I've already got utilities, so maybe I don't need Noah. But it would be nice and convenient if we could recruit all three of these people. And so we totally recognize that. And people who've been asking for the ability to recruit entire enclaves or multiple people from an enclave, or to keep an enclave around while recruiting one person, we've heard all of that feedback. And that was not something we were going to be... That has a lot of implications that stretch out all over the game. And so we were not going to be able to do that in this kind of short order. We have heard that, though. That is on a list of things we would love to try to address. But, Lucy is right to not promise it because we have not nailed it down to a schedule yet.
It'll take us some time to figure it out.
But in the meantime, do you guys have a favorite character? I think Noah would be redundant. I think that one of my folks is already utilities. Was it Andre? Yeah, Andre's already utilities.
I'm all for picking the best nicknames. Like I have this one community that I randomly rolled a community on a test build with hamster and goldfish as two of my starting characters. So I just need to find like parakeet maybe, and then puppy and kitten, and then we're good.
I feel like I need to add those nicknames to the list now. So let's recruit this guy to my community. I've got plenty of influence. Okay, we got to be careful. We don't want to abandon, carelessly abandon an enclave we like. But so the others are gonna leave. And Tantrum, hey Tantrum, come here. Why don't you come with me? Let's go home together. So I'm inviting Tantrum to my community. Let's get in our hot sports car and head home.
You know what I just realized?
What?
There were only 3 of them, but they called themselves the 7 Wonders.
Yeah.
Where are the other 4?
Yeah, I wonder if it speaks to some kind of tragedy in their past, doesn't it?
Oh no! Yeah, sorry I asked.
There's 4 grave sites out back.
Oh no!
Unmarked graves. They didn't want the constant reminder of the tragedy.
Just spotted the contagious one.
Okay, there's multiple ways I can get home, and I'm going to take this way. So this is one of the little minor among minor feature updates, things that were actually not that complex to pull off. This is one of my favorite ones we've done because as a player, just playing this game at home in my own time, this was the thing that I wanted the most. That drove me the craziest is that I would desperately need just one more survivor in order to unlock this base, and for some reason, because of the random number generator, I would never be able to get. They would just never, those missions would just never fire off just because I was unlucky, right? And we just wanted to, this is something we've been talking about a lot. We've been having a lot of conversations with this, Lucy and I and other designers, about the way that randomness works in our game, right? That randomness can be really good in a game like this because it keeps the game fresh and it keeps surprising things happening, and so you never know what to expect, and it makes the game a lot more replayable. But it also makes it harder to strategize, and that's the thing we're realizing is that part of the fun of playing in the zombie apocalypse is your strategy. It's figuring out what's my survival strategy? How am I going to survive the zombie apocalypse? And trying to act that out in the game. And when something is too random, it makes it harder to be able to pull off your strategy. If your strategy is I'm going to collect people with these skills and do this thing, if it takes forever to just roll up any single character and get them into your base, then it kind of disrupts your ability to strategize about the makeup of your community. And so So when Lucy suggests
we don't want players to spend ages and ages agonizing over like, when am I going to be able to finally move in or move out of Firewatch Fortress? Please help me. It's like, it's so yeah. This is I'm really excited about just being able to recruit people finally.
Yeah, so it was kind of funny because this was actually one of the earliest suggestions. Like, you know, when Lucy was hired, this is one of the earliest suggestions that she made, and I immediately sent messages to other people like, okay, we made the best hire ever because Lucy made this suggestion, and I had literally never thought of, like, I've been frustrated with our recruiting system for so long, I had literally never thought of allowing players to recruit from neutral and friendly enclaves, and Lucy just pops it off in a meeting. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, good thing we hired you. The game is much better now, so thank you very much. So that's one other change we're making. There's some more changes. So right here, you'll notice we've got a couple of weapon mods. This is the Clio Tumbler and the Clio Accelerator. So those of you who have played Daybreak before know that these are two of the rewards that you can unlock via Daybreak. And the thing is, we actually went through a phase where we were going through all of our weapon mods and upgrading them to sort of like to tune them up, especially the brakes. We found that people were not using muzzle brakes hardly at all, and they were using suppressors all the time. And we were like, we need to rebalance these things so that the brakes are more attractive. And we went through a couple of different iterations on it, and eventually all of the mods got more powerful. Except we left these ones alone. We didn't mess with the Clio Tumbler or the Clio Accelerator, and so we actually, you guys have met Zoe McClatchy. She's been a guest on here before, so she started messing with these things and came up with some new stuff for them to do. So I'm running out here with Andre. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, there's a zombie siege. Hold on, I got to deal with that first. Well, hold on. Before the zombies start showing up, let me stick the Clio Accelerator on this AK-47. So what the Clio Accelerator does, you'll notice, actually, let me do a quick little comparison here. Without the accelerator on, that's what my crosshair looks like. There's a little gap in there, but if I put on the accelerator, it narrows to almost nothing. So the accelerator makes your weapons more accurate. It also makes basically it's making the bullet faster. So it makes the weapons more accurate. It also makes them. Oh, this is very early in the game, so this is good. And I'm playing in the dread zone. This is gonna be a garbage siege. But I hear a little thing over here. But it also does more impact damage, which means if I were to run into a Juggernaut, which hopefully I won't at this point, it's gonna do a lot more damage to the Juggernaut. I could probably cheat myself a Juggernaut actually to get into a fight with. Maybe I'll do that in just a second. But you'll notice another effect it has, though, is the recoil is just out of control. So this turns it into a really good sniping weapon for taking single powerful shots. It's not great for if you want to have a lot of control when you're firing in full auto. So that is in contrast, actually, with the... let's grab this one. So with the Tumbler. So what the Tumbler does now is, I should go find, I need to spawn myself a horde or something like that. Oh.
This is my favorite muzzle attachment, by the way.
So it's not going to do that much with this guy because he's a, whoa, gosh. Okay, well, here we go. He called some friends. So this turns any weapon into a little bit of a shotgun. It turns them into, it actually splits each bullet in two. In fact, I could probably, it splits each bullet in two, effectively turning it into a little bit of a shotgun, and it massively increases dismemberment. So you can just shoot legs, and no matter what you got, you can just shoot legs and arms off zombies like crazy. This is designed for taking apart crowds of zombies. You just annihilate these guys. It looks almost like you're firing explosive ammunition.
It's super handy when you get those missions to dismember zombies too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like if you're trying to do one of those bounties, or I think the trappers have a mission for dismembering zombies. You could just blow off as many arms and legs as you want. It's great. Put that guy out.
Saves
of his
my crossbow bolts for the fearsome footage mission for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to run around and do a little bit more of that. And maybe I should cheat myself a Juggernaut so that we can really sort of show, or maybe actually what I should do is go after a Plague Heart. I should go show what the Accelerator can do with a Plague Heart. So let me go put that Accelerator back on. And we're going to go get in our super fast car and drive really, really fast over to that Plague Heart. Did I mark it? Yes, I did. All right. let's just drive recklessly over to that play cart. Hopefully not high centering ourselves on any more rocks. We'll go do some damage. What else we got here? Oh, actually, you know what? You know what I should do? One thing I need to call out, by the way, this controller that I'm using, there is actually one of our viewers, Typed Metal 125, sent us this. He sent us this last summer, all the way from Scotland, and oh, zombies. And it took until like a couple of weeks ago for me to actually get into the office because we're all, in quarantine. It took me forever to get actually to the office to pick it up, so it was just sitting on my desk for ages across from Brant. But I finally grabbed it.
I sit next to Jeffrey's desk, and for months I had to stare at that thing, knowing what it was and wanting to break into it, but I had to wait for Jeffrey because I didn't want to commit a federal offense.
Yeah,
next time I will.
Exactly. And so, yeah, so I've got it. So I told him I was going to use it on the stream. So here we are. This is now attached to my dev kit full time, which is great because I actually used to have an old black controller. It looks like every other controller. I couldn't even tell what was going on. But right now, get away from me, you monster. Where'd he go? There he is. Oh, okay. You know what? My aim with this controller is just not going very well for me. Hold on. Wait. Okay, you're busy? Okay, well, I'm just going to put this controller away. Move my PC keyboard, get out my Xbox keyboard. Oh, my Xbox mouse. Here we go. Okay. So now we're going to be playing with mouse and keyboard. Now, this is not me playing on a PC with mouse and keyboard. This is me playing on an Xbox dev kit with mouse and keyboard. And this will also work on your Xbox at home. Problem is, I don't actually play with the mouse and keyboard all that often. I've forgotten what buttons to push for things. But there we go. E is my. There we go. Take that
F
zombie
is
down.
flashlight, I think. But
That's right. F is flashlight. Okay, I got to remember because I usually play with controller even on PC. But there we go. Let's take this thing down. Oh, gotta reload. See, look how fast that guy's losing his health. Keep firing at it with this AK. Look at the short work I made out of that play cart. That was crazy. That is the Clio accelerator for you right there. Oh, get up. No. Oh. By the way, I gotta get out of here. The sprint button is shift. The dodge button is C. Okay. I gotta remember how to do all of the things. I'm in huge trouble. Let's get in this car. Let's use some bandages now that I'm in the car. Okay, we're feeling good about this. I attracted way too many normal zombies during that. I was kind of expecting killing the plague heart to get rid of my zombie problem, and that did not happen. Okay, good. Well, the sun is coming up. That's really nice. It'll make it a little bit easier to see while I'm driving around. Because I am driving around super fast, and you all know that driving around super fast in State of Decay 2 can sometimes be a little bit of a problem. And one of the reasons why driving around super fast can be a little bit of a problem in State of Decay is because we've got this problem where bloaters will sometimes spawn directly in front of your car. Like those zombies, they spawn a ways off. I could dodge them if I needed to. But sometimes you'll get a bloater that just spawns right underneath your car, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. It just explodes, and it fills your car with gas, and it's hilarious. It's like somebody farted in the car. Everyone jumps and gets out. It's great. Except in the lethal zone, where it can insta-kill whatever character was driving that car. And so once we released the lethal zone, we realized this is a really big problem. We can't put this off any longer. We have to solve it. So you'll notice I've been driving around like crazy at the top speed that I can. So far, I have not seen a single zombie spawn directly on top of my car. They're all spawning in the distance. Nothing is happening. There's no bloater landmines appearing under my vehicle. No buried bloaters anywhere. They're all just spawning way off in the distance like they should. So with Update 24, you're going to get a fix to the bloater spawning on top of your car problem. So that's kind of a big deal. So we wanted to make sure we called that out. Again, I can't exactly, because it's a random thing, it's not like I can just sort of show you it not happening, but I'm trying to be as reckless as I possibly can so that you can, build some confidence that we have really fixed this bug. And hopefully, now, it's still going to be possible for you to not notice a bloater and run into the bloater. We can't stop that, but we can stop the bloater from spawning directly underneath your vehicle.
I gotta say, when it was even lethal at using cheats, we have a cheat that enables infinite health and everything, and one time I was in a car trying to test something, and I was like, okay, I'll be fine. I have cheats enabled. I'm not going to get out of the car. And then suddenly, for some reason, I still died. So it's good that we finally fixed this, because now I can playtest faster.
Yeah, that bloater, basically that bloater bug was so deadly, even our cheats couldn't save it. It was the worst, most deadly bug as far as like character death we could possibly have had. But yeah, so that is now fixed. So yeah, so we've basically, you know, this update, it's not one of those like, you know, enormous, massive new system type updates. It's not like we added outfits to the game or anything like that. But I think that the particular smaller fixes that we aimed for, especially the new recruiting feature, I feel like these are ones that are really high bang for your buck, right? It's like we've got, you know, fairly small fixes that I think are going to have a huge positive impact on your experience playing the game. And we managed to get through all of our checklist in half an hour, and so now we can just do whatever we want. I'm just gonna... Okay, first thing, whatever we want for me includes playing with a controller again. So, rearranging my stuff, getting back to normal. Okay, yes, I feel so comfortable now playing this game. So now the question is, we got any questions that have been coming in, Brand?
There's a comment that I like. The Tank says, if I wasn't already a fan, I would be now.
Oh, Tank, you're so sweet. We love you, Tank.
But in general, there's been a lot of everyone saying, oh my goodness, thank you for this. And, you know, sorry it took us so long to get there, but we get there in the end, everybody.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we've got, I mean, there's so many things. Like, during the pre-stream, we were talking to folks in the chat, and there were so many suggestions of, like, you know, features that they hoped were coming out in this update, things like that. And all of them, pretty much, we were like, yeah, that sounds great. I love that idea. Man, we'd love to put that in the game. And just all it takes a lot of the time is just time. You know, now and then there's an idea where we're like, no, I think that actually wouldn't work in the game. People who ask us, for instance, for a custom character creator, I keep being like, no, you know, the thing that's cool about the random characters is the fact that when one dies, you're literally never getting that character back again. Death is super real in our game because the characters are randomly generated. So here and there we say no, but most of the suggestions you folks say, we're like, yeah, we want that too. And it's really just a question of what we have time to do, you know, and where we set our priorities. So these are the priorities we've got for this month. And yeah, for this update, for update 24. And then as time goes on, we're going to keep you folks apprised of other big plans we have for the future. And, you know, we've got a lot of stuff on our list that is stuff that you guys have asked for a long time, stuff you guys have been wanting, and we aim to provide them. You know, not necessarily every single thing that you ask for, but we're on the same page with you as far as, you know, what we want to see in the game, what we'd like to be able to work on. So, what else we got going on here? Oh yeah, so like Sensual Sev, for instance, is suggesting, you know, what if we could, you know, nickname our own characters or nickname our own communities. So what you're saying, Sev, is that you don't like the nicknames that I came up with? That's what you're saying? You're saying you don't like my nickname system. You're like, oh no, I can do much better than you. I see where you're coming from. I realize I sound like somebody's, you know, older relative who's like, oh, you know, you don't like the beans that I made for you? Oh no, you know, I understand. No, I understand that you don't appreciate the hard work that I put into them. It's okay. No, no, seriously. No, I'm gonna eat the beans. They're cold now, but I'll eat them because you didn't appreciate them and you didn't understand. You know, the hard work that went into it. It's okay. No, it's okay. You don't have to feel bad. It's fine. That's what I'm saying to you. Sensual stuff.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest here. We don't really want to see YouTube videos of people's communities online that are named after various body parts that, you know, don't really be named.
Yes, exactly. We're keeping it to the adorable names, like what was the like hamster, you know, and parakeet. Oh, parakeet's not one. I need to add parakeet. Somebody remind me to add parakeet.
7?
I'll make an idea card right now.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, well, one of these days, actually, we should do a stream where we just open up the nickname tool, and I'm just like live adding nicknames and taking suggestions from the audience. You all want custom nicknames? We'll give you custom nicknames. You just got to do them on the stream with us.
Now, the idea of letting you scroll through an approved list of nicknames, that's something we can start considering.
Yeah, I can see that. Or just hitting a randomize button, for instance. That could be, you know.
Yeah.
We already have characters.
I already kind of hit the randomize button a lot just for the funny nicknames, so if a randomize button on just the nickname is probably a good idea.
Yeah, I did a stream on my personal stream. I did I did one. Oh, I need to get out of this car. It's on fire. Oh wait, it's not really on fire. It's kind of on fire. I did one where all I was doing was just reading through all of the names of communities, all the names of enclaves, particularly the weird enclave list. Like the cannibals and a couple of other enclaves pull from this list. It's called Weird Enclave Names, and there's some really some doozies in there. Things where I'm like, when I was reading it, I started cracking up because I'm like, I can't believe I put this in a professional game. But but so many of those, they're extremely rare, and so you'll never actually see them. If you're a typical player, most of these names you never actually get it. But now and then, you'll get a player who gets to who rolls something good on the random number generator.
So Jeffrey, I've got a question from chat from soul.jpg. At State of Decay, what about the specs for fifth skills and also facilities? And then I have to jump.
It would be like being able to respec fifth skills. Is that what you're talking about? Because that is a thing we've suggested. So it's actually we've got this sort of.
Do you have the code to the front door of the building?
Oh, Brant, we can still hear you.
You're not muted.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh, you're in front of 308.
Brant!
Brant!
We'll be right down to grab
Brant!
some.
At least don't say it. Okay.
Brant, you're not muted. You're not muted.
All right. Anyway, is he just walking up in shame?
Or to get whoever's trying to come up to the building, I guess.
I guess so. All right. So anyway, the answer to that question.
In terms of the sold out replies, no, I mean in terms of balancing, not respec. So balancing with skills is a bit tricky, but there are definitely some ways that we could repurpose certain skills. Like I am aware of the current uses of the utility skill, and I like in general for all of the skills, I do want to make them interesting and create new experiences. So that is something we're looking at, and as usual, I cannot promise timelines on anything.
Yeah, exactly. So Lucy has been a staunch advocate of trying to take the skills that have been way less useful historically and finding ways to use them, finding better ways, reasons why you want to have a plumber in your base, reasons why you want to have an electrician, reason why you want to have a chef. And right now, those are some of the ones that are less popular because, especially once you've got the builder boon, for some of them, just people don't feel like there's a huge need for them around the base. And like this guy, for instance, he's this is my utilities guy, isn't it? Yeah, this is my utilities guy. People might not give him enough respect, because all he's got is utilities skill. And so we are definitely looking at ways. In fact, I actually just Jurgen just gave me a new evil tool that I can use to tweak skills that might turn into some rebalancing. I should talk actually, I just got the tool, and so I'm gonna talk the stuff through with Lucy a little bit later and figure out what we can do. But anyway, point is, we definitely would love to take some of the less useful fifth skills and make them more valuable. What other questions do we have here? I do not actually have the part of Teams open that would reveal.
All right, so question is who? So I don't know who the name is on this, but someone asked, is the Clio accelerator notably better than the advanced brake for jugs and hearts?
Good question. No, I have not actually done a side-by-side comparison. They are tweaking the guns in slightly different ways. I believe that both of them do affect impact. I don't have the numbers side by side to compare for you, so sorry that I can't give you that. But it is meant to be roughly comparable. I mean, one of the things, you see how hard it knocks that guy down. I believe that's actually an explicit thing that's also true of the accelerator. The fact that it has more knockdown effect on zombies, and so even if you've got like armored guys coming at you, and you're not going to be able to kill them with a gun, you will be able to knock them silly. Which is another sort of bonus for it that I'm not sure. I don't know if that actually is an explicit effect of the brakes. So it makes it a little bit more versatile. And the goal really was to make it feel like it's special. We were trying to tune these things to feel like they were not just, just a slightly rebalanced version of other mods you have. We wanted them to be different enough that it really felt like it mattered,
Somebody...
Sorry, I want to apologize for my unprofessional inclusion of me catching the Amazon guy delivering something to the office. So
It was great. Everyone loved it.
Were you able to interpret my pantomime? I was like, I'm not sure if he understands.
So yeah, I'm gonna just like.
I currently have 7 screens open that I'm trying to monitor for the stream. So Lucy, I'm sorry. The last thing I was looking at was the actual live stream.
It's okay.
So one of the. Oh yeah, go ahead.
It looks like we got a question from a Lucky Eye. Sometimes when you walk into a house, zombies spawn on you, or zombies just keep spawning each time you walk into the house. Is that fixed as well with the bloater fix?
So the bloater fix is specifically focused on making sure that that when you are, I believe that it's when you're driving, that a zombie doesn't spawn on top of you. We talked about different versions of this, and so now I'm not entirely clear on it. Well, we should make sure that I'll get an update on that. So we can answer that question for you later, especially if you want to tweet at me or something at Rangatang. But I know that definitely when you're driving, we make sure that if a zombie spawns too close to you, we cancel that zombie spawn and say, never mind, spawn somewhere else, zombie. Your spawning privileges have been revoked. You've been abusing them. You can't spawn there anymore. I don't know if we do that when you're running around on foot, because the problem that we were facing was the fact that basically it used to be that zombies would spawn inside a lot of, say, furniture and stuff inside of buildings, and so we made it so that that zombie spawning was one of the last things that happened as we were sort of spawning a new area, opening up a new area. As you're driving around, we only keep some of the map loaded at a time, and so basically because we had to spawn in everything else first to make sure zombies didn't spawn inside furniture. Zombies would sometimes be delayed in their spawning so long that you would end up, just sort of, they would spawn right on top of you. You'd had time to catch up with them. And so when you were moving at speed, you would basically overcome, like the zombie would check, can I spawn? Am I far enough away from the player? Get a yes. And then by the time it actually spawned, you had already caught up with it in the car. And so that was the main thing that we were focused on fixing, was that issue. So I can't promise you that zombie spawning, when you're moving at a slower speed, is going to be fixed the same way.
I think the problem that was described in that question is actually more of a function of a possible bug in the mission code than in the zombie spawn code.
Okay, so either way, so there's a decent chance that some of the cases of inconvenient zombie spawning that you've seen might not be fixed, but certainly the worst one, the one that was like getting players just killed outright, that one is the one that we focused on trying to fix. We felt like that was sort of our top priority. Let me see. So I've just destroyed my car, so I feel like I need to. It was almost dead, and then it ran out of gas. Everything's inconvenient, so I gotta run back home. Because I do want to show off a couple of the other sort of like weapon options and stuff that come with the Trumbull Valley pack, but not unless I can get to my house. Actually, you know what? I've got lots of influence. What I should do is claim an outpost. Nah. Oh, there we go. Wind farm. Let's go claim this wind farm.
While you're running over there, I saw a question in the chat. I missed the username, but somebody asked, oh, wait, there it is. Nope, I can't find it. But somebody asked, why are zombies spawning on the roof? Would you care to answer that one, Jeffrey?
So I can't give you the technical explanation because I'm not a programmer who works in that kind of thing. But it is always very difficult when you're living in when you're in a 3D world, and you've got code that doesn't look. Code doesn't understand what the world is supposed to be, right? It doesn't know this is supposed to look like a building from reality. This is supposed to be ground. This is supposed to be a roof. This is a wall. It just knows rules about physics, like where, like what can penetrate what can stand on what can push what. And so it's always a challenge when you're trying to spawn things in reasonable places. A lot of times what a game will do is say it'll pick a location in sort of XY space in the horizontal plane. Say, I want to put a zombie here. Then it'll like fire a ray down and say, okay, where is the ground? It's right there. And it will find the ground. we try to make it so that that when, and I'm probably describing it completely wrong, a programmer watching this will be like, what are you talking about? This is my layman's vague explanation of the kind of thing that you do when you're spawning a zombie. So you'll try to find the ground. And so sometimes, you know, for instance, you've got a complicated geometry, like a 2-story house or a house with a floor that's a little bit off the terrain, but then it's also got a roof, or you've got, you know, a carport that is a little bit different from a house. Like there's all these different weird scenarios you can present to a computer that it's just trying to find the ground to spawn the zombie on. That's all it cares about. And so it's very easy to create geometry that confuses whatever system is trying to find the ground. And so it'll spawn things on the roof instead. It'll be like, oh, that looks like the ground, boink, and stick it on the roof. And that's my layman's explanation. Again, I'm not a programmer. A programmer could probably give you a much more precise and accurate view of that. But that's the vague gist. And so that's one of the challenges that, like, you know, environment artists like Brant have to deal with all the time, is that they'll make a completely reasonable thing for a human to look at and observe and understand as a piece of art. But the spawning system will look at that and be like, I don't know what that is. It's a ground. I'm going to put a zombie on it. And then you have to like rejigger it in all kinds of weird ways to make it agree with the machine.
That issue alone has dogged me from long before we ship this game, and it will probably like eventually give me a brain event.
Yeah, so like you think, when you imagine being a video game artist, it's easy to imagine that what you're going to be doing most of the time is creating beautiful works of art. But really you're spending, you spend 10% of your time building beautiful works of art, and then 90% of your time trying to figure out why a zombie keeps spawning in the middle of it. And there's just like, you know, there's very little in between those two experiences, as I understand it.
Jeffrey, we've also got a comment from Wonder sent us this. Jaden Hancock says, not much of a question, but I'm an OG fan here wondering how you guys are doing. Got any community or enclave horror stories in Nightmare or Lethal Zone?
Well, oh, crap.
I'll answer that.
Yeah, you answer that while I'm dealing with this.
I'm doing okay, you know, as well as can be expected in the apocalypse here. And every time I play Lethal, it's a horror story.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's
I tried to play Lethal on my... Oh, gosh, zombie. I tried to play Lethal on my stream, and I managed to make it about 3 sessions before my community just died on me. And there was nothing I could do about it. Like, I got to the point where I think 2 of my characters had Blood Plague. I had a 3rd one without it, and I had no samples. The only thing that I could do was send my one character who was healthy-ish to try to fight a plague heart unprepared in the lethal zone in order to get enough cure to save their friends, and then they died trying, and then I was just left with with 2 dying characters, and it was just not gonna work. So yeah, so I've got all kinds of horror stories documented on YouTube of me just being really, really bad at my own game, which is kind of fun. Lucy, got any horror stories? Aside from that car landing on that bus.
I've lost a lot of my favorite cars to cliffs. I haven't actually, I haven't, because, you know, you don't have enough time to use the stuck command when you're running from a pack of ferals. So there's like a red Corvette somewhere on Providence Ridge that's just waiting for the day that I come and find it again. But for some reason, it just keeps becoming a zombie hotspot every time I try to go back to it. So maybe someday.
Yeah, so one of you, some of you might have noticed that I have still not reloaded this gun. I've taken apart like 2 or 3 hordes worth of zombies. This gun does not need to be reloaded pretty much ever. This is the Masterwork Assault Rifle. This is one of the rifles that you can make at the improvised weapon station, which is part of the Trumbull Valley pack. So when you're looking, when this stuff drops February 8th, and you're looking through your bounties, consider getting the improvised weapon station. It actually is one of our more popular bounties, so a lot of you probably already have it. But this gun alone is worth the price of admission. Whatever you have to do to get a bounty.
Here's a quick question, and my answer to this is already no. Have any of the 3 of you unlocked even one boon on Lethal Legit? That comes from Sweet Tooth from Twitch. And no, not even close. The only time I visit, I'm a visitor in Lethal at this point. I'll go help people play, but I don't have an active Lethal game because I get really depressed when I wipe my community within the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Dude, I still haven't even I haven't legacied on Nightmare yet. I'm not ready for lethal.
Yeah, it's the same here. I haven't even gotten my 4th legacy on Dread yet. So that's what I'm working on right now. I've got 3 legacies in Dread. Need to get my 4th, and then maybe I'll try Nightmare. But I've already basically I've wiped 2 communities recently. One in Lethal, one in Nightmare. Clearly the game is telling me that I am a Dread player, and that's just Dread is a cool word. Dread Pirate Roberts. It's okay being a Dread player. I feel like that's not too bad. But oh yeah. That person who asked how we were doing, actually, it might be fun to mention that it's been actually an extra apocalypse over at my house because we actually had our water heater explode and flooded our entire basement. Not our entire basement. This room is in the basement, and this room was not flooded because I'm about the furthest away from the water heater as you can be. But we've had to rip up the floors in 3 different rooms. Luckily, we were already thinking of doing a remodel, so, maybe it's sort of fortuitous. This is the time that it happened. But yeah, so we've got, kids sleeping all over the house because their bedrooms have no carpets anymore. We had to move all the furniture out of the way. It's great. So, it's always fun when you're, already in the middle of a trying situation, and then just life is like, hey, you want another thing? I can give you another thing. It's awesome. Here's this. So, yeah. Good luck to everyone who's going through things like that. I mean, this is one of those years, this past entire multiple years, honestly, has been a pretty trying time for a lot of people. And so I hope that, when life is handing you stuff like that all of you are finding ways to lighten your own loads, to find the humor in some of the bad things that can happen, and when that's not possible, at least supporting each other and helping each other get through stuff. Because I mean that's what we want this game to be about. Honestly, is the power of communities, groups of people to support each other even through the hardest times, and make life better even when it seems like it can't be good.
So there was mention of there's a bug that. Where the Juggernaut tries to enter the house and then despawns or does weird stuff.
Oh yeah.
We're well aware of it. There's been some work on the volumes in interior volumes of houses and structures that probably caused that. So we're working on that one.
Actually, I think we can go even further. It's so we're going to be going through the patch notes next week. For this update, and that Juggernaut bug is one that's really kind of hard to show, and so we didn't actually include it on our plan for this particular stream, but I believe that a fix for that bug is actually coming in update 24 as well. So you should expect, alongside the bloater spawning fix, we also do have I believe we do have a Juggernaut fix. I can double check that by looking at the patch notes, but I'm pretty sure that is the case.
Oh my, no, that they will not be spawning in houses now. I just saw somebody ask that. That is not what's going to be happening. This is meant to help you, not hurt you more.
Yes, so that bug it does have a fix in update 24. It says right here in the patch notes, we fixed a problem that was causing Juggernauts to evaporate while attempting to chase a human into a building. So you should be good.
Now my only strategy for dealing with jugs in Nightmare is taken away from me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I actually ran into that bug myself the other day. I was like, I think that I was actually going for a bounty that required me to kill a Juggernaut, and I was so excited that I had a Juggernaut in a position to take him out. But unfortunately, I was like in bad physical shape, and so I ran inside of a house to get a break to sort of heal myself and finish off the Juggernaut, and then the Juggernaut disapparated trying to chase me into the base, so into the building. So I'm happy to see that bug go away too. So we've got 7 more minutes. If people have any remaining questions or comments, we are open.
Yeah, I wonder, send us one. Is Jesse James, or no, this is from Jesse Baker.
Hey, Jesse.
They ask, is Jesse James going to be in the nickname pool, Jeffrey Card?
Oh.
And in parentheses next to this, I can't tell if that's also from the comment or from Wonder, but they asked, did he win this? Question marks.
Okay, so Jesse Baker did suggest at one point that I add the name Jesse James in as a nickname, and I did do it. The thing that I don't remember is exactly how I did it. So it could be that I just made the name Jesse a nickname for the last name James. I might have actually put Jesse James as a full-on nickname in there. I'd have to check. the thing I also don't remember is whether I did it before we branched this update or not. So it could be that it's coming in this update, or it could be that it's not. Either way, it's one of thousands of names, and you're never going to see it anyway, Jesse Baker. So why don't you just pretend it's already in the game, because it'll functionally be exactly the same as after it is.
It just makes it that much more special when you encounter it finally, right?
Yeah, exactly. I guess so. But yeah, I promise I did actually do something in response to that suggestion from you. I just forgot exactly what it was, because you know what? I do a lot of things, and my memory is not very good at remembering what all of them are. I am one of those people. I believe we have an absent-minded trait that I based on my own experience. And so I finally have run out of bullets for this gun, just because I couldn't carry enough. Not because this gun had any lacks in its magazine capacity.
Ooh, we got a suggestion asking if we could ever get the ability to mass salvage guns instead of just having to do them one at a time. Just click, highlight a bunch, and break them down. Now, with UX things, we usually ask or talk to our designers first to pick the best kind of interface experience, but that's something we should maybe could consider, because I'm definitely that type of person who saves the salvaging until I finally need the parts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it definitely. There's a lot of us, who understand sort of the desire to hoard items, especially items that are durable. I personally have a regimen of just like trying to maintain a small number of weapons in my supply locker. And so I'm constantly judging them, basically putting on a beauty pageant between the guns and getting rid of the ones that are the least interesting. Or that's more of like a reality show, like voting guns off the island. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't do that. They just save them up and save them up and save them up. So I guess because I imagine that part of the issue is that salvaging is a hold action, right? And so each gun you salvage, because it's a destructive action, we want to make sure you can't just do it accidentally. We make it a hold action, so you have to hold like is it the X button? Hold the X button down in order to do it. So each one takes a long time. So yeah, I guess.
I also think what they're suggesting is maybe like when they have the supply locker open rather than when it's just in their inventory, because definitely we do not want you to like accidentally salvage all the weapons you're holding all at once, because that's a bit troublesome. We'll keep that in mind.
Totally.
Speaking of ranged weapons, though, we had another question. If the Persian meal is the rarest melee, what is the rarest ranged weapon in the game? And I kind of want to know that, too, because I'm not familiar with it.
I'm actually not sure what would be the rarest one. I mean, I assume not counting bounty weapons, because
I think it's the M4X2, if I'm not mistaken.
Sounds good to me. Which one? Tell us about that one.
It's just an AR platform with like a drum magazine, and it's got so high capacity. I think it may have a break or a suppressor included with it, and it has an optic. It's a really good firearm, and I've never gotten it in like the last 200 hours of gameplay.
That's another example of where randomness can kind of bite us, because it is kind of fun, the sheer variety of weapons in the game, the number of different ones you can get, and how you never quite know what you're going to find as you open a container. That's a good part of our game. But if there's a particular weapon you're actually particularly interested in, there's literally no way to go and target that weapon and go and find it. And so
sorry, Jeffrey, the other one is the other one that I never see is the MGL-32. Thanks, Joe, for sending me
grenade launcher.
Because apparently the analytics say that one is found the least.
That makes a lot of sense. It is an extremely powerful gun, and so it's the one that if you want to do something like kill pharaohs with explosives, for instance, for a bounty. That's one of the only ways to do it really effectively is to get yourself a grenade launcher that fires that has a magazine that can contain multiple grenades. It's 3:58, so you know what? We should probably stop all of this nonsense.
We've got one more good question here.
Okay, go for it.
We've got lots of good questions, but this one's important.
No, all the other ones are bad.
Deadpool for Life says, any chance of getting guided waypoints on the mini map so we don't have to keep opening the map? We don't even need that because we have in-world mission markers now.
Yes.
Well,
they're not waypoints.
There's a number of changes we've suggested for helping people navigate more. And as usual, we can't promise any timelines.
Yeah.
But we hear you, and we do want to take a look at that in the future.
Yeah, we've had a few different suggestions on that score, and yeah, it's like it's tough too because some people want more guidance, some people want less, some people find certain things intrusive, other people find them necessary.
Yeah.
So finding the right mix, or either the right mix of things that are on all the time, or the right mix of options that people could turn on and off, can be a challenge to find the right stuff. But we're always trying. We're always trying to think of the game from multiple different perspectives and try to try to do things that are going to be the best for everyone. That's what we're aiming at. We'll see how well we do. But because we have 1 minute left, we're going to quickly go through and say goodbye to each of our guests. So. Lucy, thanks for coming on here and chatting with us.
Thanks for having me again. It was great.
And in addition, Brant, thank you for being here and fielding questions from the chat.
Hey, as usual, thanks for taking time out of your day to join us. And also, thanks for playing our game. Appreciate it. We love you guys. And
with that, we're going to head out. So again, pay attention, especially once February 8th rolls around, because not only is this update going to be dropping, but our commemorative shirt for Black History Month is going to be coming out. And next week, our guest is going to be Ty Farrell, the artist who created this image. And so come join us then, check out the update then, and we'll see you later.
Phew, this is so awkward.
Yeah, I know, right? Just 20 seconds.
What do we do?
We can thank people for all the fantastic questions.
No.
Oh, they're not even listening to us anymore.
Oh, okay.
I'm kidding. They're still